What is up, everybody? This is No Continues, your favorite video game discussion show. My name is Juice. I am joined by my good friend, Ben Duzo. We are going to have a fun little show for you. Not a ton in the news, but we're going to have some great stories, great games to talk about. Ben, how are we doing today?
I'm doing amazing. How about you, Juice?
I am doing great as well. We're recording this on a Monday morning, which is very unlike us. We just happen to have the day off, so usually we're night people. So it's totally throwing my groove off.
Exactly.
But we're
The
up, we're
Super
early,
Bowl was
we're here.
yesterday, so
Yeah,
you gotta do what
that's
you gotta
right.
do.
Shout out to my brother's Philadelphia Eagles for pulling off the win. I got the jersey if you're watching on the video cast in the background. Big win for the Philadelphia Eagles last night. We were going crazy. My brother was going absolutely nuts. So
Bonkers.
yeah, we had
DK
a great
style.
time. Yeah, he's seen them win a championship before, but this was definitely equally as exciting. So yeah, we had a great time,
That's nice.
but late night for us. So
Yeah.
got up, had some coffee, and we're ready for some no
Yes.
continues. What did you get up to this weekend, Ben?
Not much actually. I was streaming. Oh my bad. I was streaming. Yes. No, 2 days ago.
Mhm.
Yesterday I had a lot of editing to do, and that's pretty much it. I mean, I'm not a big football guy. I used to watch. I used to watch the Super Bowl every year, but
Yeah.
now, like, all of my friends are more into video games anymore, so we don't
Mhm.
like do a gathering or anything. We just, you know, I just look up the score once in a while, and that's it. So yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
not.
I'm always into sports still. I mean, I used to work in a ton of sports, so
Yeah.
I'm always kind of into it.
Oh, good.
Probably too much, so I've probably
It's
lost
all
years of my life
good.
screaming at the TV. That's for sure.
It's all good.
Um, but yeah, same thing with us. Busy. We're always busy. We're always looking for things. We're working a ton, so
Yeah.
it's nice to have a Sunday off, watch some football. Now we don't have football for quite a long time,
Yeah.
so I got a lot more spare time on my hands when it comes to my Sundays. Um, but with that being said, let's jump into it. Let's start right away, Ben, with what are you playing?
Still playing through Donkey Kong Country Return HD on stream. I have been playing a lot some Ninja Gaiden 2 Black.
Oh yeah, how have you liking it?
Oh, I love this game. It's a really good game. It is just so unfair.
It
Like,
looks unfair.
that's the
Yeah.
thing. Like, people are like, because I've seen a lot of clips, shorts, whatever online saying like, oh, this game is nothing compared to Dark Souls. Like, it's so much harder. It's not harder because it's fair. It's harder because it's unfair. That's it. Like, nothing makes sense. It's a really good game, though. It's very satisfying, very gory and everything. But I don't know, I have I have some difficulties with games that are not fair in a way. So
Yeah.
I'm still playing through it, and I'm playing in my own time through the Indiana Jones games.
Oh, did you like it?
I mean,
This is the Xbox one, right?
yeah, the Xbox
Yeah.
exclusive. I mean, it's an okay game. I like the combat. I think it's clever in a way.
Yeah.
But I feel like if you are an Indiana Jones fan, you're gonna absolutely love this game because it's like a movie.
Yeah.
It's like another movie in a way. But if you're not, you're gonna find it pretty boring.
Yeah.
It's very for Indiana Jones fan. It's not like a game that, yes, it is an Indiana Jones game, but you're if you've never watched or played any Indiana Jones games, you're fine. Like, no, you need to know the story. You need to love the character, or else like it's a little bit boring, to be honest. But I'm having a blast because I love Indiana Jones. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah. How about you,
Yeah.
Juice?
I also love Indiana Jones,
Yeah.
so I have wanted to jump into this game.
Yeah.
Troy Baker, he sounds great.
Oh, yeah.
As Indiana Jones. It's crazy
Yes.
how similar he
No, he
sounds to
sounds
like a young
exactly
Harrison Ford.
exactly. Oh my god. I honestly like I know he's the motion capture model too for the character, but he's the voice too, which is crazy to me because he sounded exactly like him.
Yeah,
Exactly.
like scary.
Oh,
Like,
scary.
it's pretty
Yeah.
good. Like,
Yeah.
so that definitely is like a part that I want to play
Yeah.
definitely. I was a big fan as a kid. I watched the trilogy over and
Oh,
over and over
same.
again. I loved
So good.
Indiana Jones as a kid, so I'll definitely probably
Yeah.
be giving it a watch or
And
a game playthrough at some point.
if you guys have Game Pass, it's free on Game
Yes,
Pass. Like,
right. So
I mean, it is my way to play Xbox exclusive because like buying a physical copy of Xbox game, I feel like it's kind of worthless because they're coming to every other platform. It just got announced in a way. So like, yeah, I end up just buying playing the Game Pass version, and that's it.
Yeah, so that one I'll definitely be trying out at some point. I'm continuing my venture through my backlog on my Switch games.
Ooh.
So I'm still plowing through a bunch. Started Bomb Rush Cyberpunk.
Oh,
Having a
how'd you
fun
like it?
time with that. Yeah, it's not bad so far.
I heard some mixed things about it, so that's why I'm like
Yeah,
curious to know your take on this.
the movement is good. It's very much like Jet Set Radio.
Mm.
The music's probably the best part
Yeah,
because
yeah,
it's
for
that
sure.
like skater funk vibe that
Mm-hmm.
you know Jet Set has. So
Yeah,
like yeah, in that regard it's pretty good. I would say like gameplay, it's pretty much just skating, grinding,
yeah.
and spray tagging. The only thing I don't really like is combat.
There's
It's not very
combat in the
good.
game.
Kind of, if you want to knock over police or
Oh,
like to get away from them,
kind
you
of
can
like
do
Jet
that.
Set Radio in a
Yeah,
way. Okay.
but
Is there like a
it's fine.
story or?
There is a story, and it's
Okay.
kind of weak.
Yeah,
But
that doesn't surprise me.
I'm pretty early on still. But yeah, if you like that like fast-paced grind, this is definitely up your
Yeah.
alley.
I
I've also been playing through Sonic Cross Shadow Generations.
Ooh.
I'm
Definitely
only
want to
really
hear your take on this.
Yeah. I'm only really playing through the Shadow portion because I remember playing through
The
the
best.
Sonic
Yeah.
Generations quite a long time ago.
Yeah.
So I started with the Shadow portion. It's fine. 3D Sonic is just not my
For you,
jam.
yeah.
I don't know what it is. I think it's more a me problem than the
Yeah.
game. Mostly because sometimes I just feel like I'm never fully in control of
Okay.
Shadow
No,
or
I get
Sonic.
you. I get you.
Like
I
for
think
some reason
it's
I just feel
yeah.
like I'm not doing the thing. It's like
Yeah.
a roller coaster ride
Yeah.
for the most
But
part.
you
Like
press that button and then you go fast for like 15 seconds and then
exactly.
it's less bad in Shadow Generation, I would say, but in Sonic Generation it is particularly like very bad.
Yeah. I just much prefer 2D Sonic
Yeah.
when it's dedicated 2D. I don't know why. It's just always felt that way. Whether it be the old school like Genesis games, whether it
Yeah.
be Sonic Advanced, I really like. I like Sonic Advanced 1 and 3 a
Mm.
lot. And I love Sonic Mania. I don't know,
Yeah.
for some reason I just think he works better
Better
in a
in 2D.
2D. I don't know why. It just
No, but
that's just my personal preference
I
though. That's it's
I feel you. Honestly, like I've never liked the boost games. I remember when I was a kid, Unleash came out and I was just like, what is this? Like I
yeah.
played it through its entirety on the Wii with my cousin back then, but the boost era for me is just you press a button and then you go fast. There's no like you're not in
Yeah.
control of Sonic, especially in
Yeah.
Generation. Like the remaster that they did, I played it. I did a short on it. I was like, the 2D sections are bad in the game. Like Sonic feels like a bullet whenever like you're in a 2D section. The controls are very weird and everything, and like the 3D sections are just like 2 minutes long, and usually you're just pressing a button to go fast. Like there's nothing, there's no there's no computing. You're just like, so that's why I like Shadow Generation more, because you have more freedom, you have more movement. It is still a little bit of the same, but I feel like it's better. And I kind of like how Shadow like moves in 2D. I like it better than Sonic.
So one thing I will say that I did appreciate is that Shadow has more things available to him. Like whatever.
The Chaos Spear, the like
the wings.
The wings and everything.
Yeah, he kind of has more to him, and that makes the game a little more exciting to me.
Yeah. And I like the pseudo open world that they did. Like I think it's cool. Like Shadow Generation for me is the perfect continuation of Sonic Frontiers, because Sonic Frontiers was too much. There was too many things to do, too many pop-ins, too many like worthless things to collect in a way, because you could collect like less than half of the things and just still be able to progress to the story, and you would have like enough like emblems in a way to. So there was too much. It was too big. They were too ambitious, in my opinion. With Shadow Generation, I feel like they were right on the spot in terms of like the little open world, little side game. I'm kind of like, I can't wait for them to like show us their new project with Sonic.
Yeah, like try that, but more. Yeah,
more.
Yeah, no, I think it's more just like a me thing.
Yeah,
it's fine. I want to like it more.
Yeah, and Sonic. Have you played Sonic Superstars?
I didn't. No.
Yeah,
I heard it controls kind of funky. Like it doesn't control like Sonic Mania.
Yeah, it controls weird. But my biggest issue with the game is the bosses. They're like,
yeah, I heard the bosses were rough.
Yeah, because you can in Sonic games you can like power through the boss. You can damage like whenever you have high frames, you can just keep attacking the boss, which makes them fun because you're not playing a Sonic game for bosses. But this one is just you attack, you have to wait 30 seconds for the animation to go off, and then you attack again. Like it's just it's just boring. Whatever.
Yeah, I'll probably pick it up at some point, but I haven't played it yet.
Yeah.
I've also been playing through, and I don't know why, Paper Mario: The Origami King.
Ooh, I love this game.
I don't know why.
I love
it's
this game.
Actually really fun.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is.
The combat is the weakest part, but
yeah. Even then, though, I kind of like the puzzles.
Yeah.
I keep trying to like. If I don't line the enemies up right, I do get upset with myself. I'm like, what did I miss?
Absolutely,
how did I screw this up?
Yeah, but sometimes it gets so hard. Like it.
Yeah.
Oh, man, the puzzles are hard. That's the thing.
So I've been doing this thing like I don't have it on screen, but like basically with my like big shelf of Switch games, I just kind of like go through it. I'm like, I'll try this one, and I picked that one up, and I've been playing through it. And I've been having a fun time. I don't know. I feel like this game doesn't get talked about that much because it's just like to many people, it's just a whatever game.
Yeah.
I've kind of been enjoying it actually. Yeah. The comedy is like still on point. There's still a lot of funny moments.
The dialogue is
the dialogue's the best.
Really good. Really good. It is. Yeah, really good. Like I remember when it came out, I was like, okay, I understand the combat is not for everyone, but the dialogue is so good in the game that it kept me going through the game. Like
still a lot of funny moments. And the thing is, like coming off of Mario and Luigi Brothership. Now, in fairness, I haven't beat that game. That game just isn't as funny or as clever.
Absolutely.
But this game is. It's just it's funny. I like the jokes. I like it looks really nice.
Yeah.
The combat isn't as good as like I like Thousand Year Doors combat. Of
course.
The best. It's one of my favorite games.
Of course.
But I'm enjoying trying to line everything up and getting the biggest attack I can. So I don't know. I don't think the combat's that bad either. So this is like a big surprise to me. To be honest, this was like a big surprise where I was like, oh, this is actually a pretty good game.
Yeah.
So
did you play it when it came out?
Nope.
Oh, nope. Okay.
So it's kind of just been sitting there. So this is like my first time playing through it, and I'm having fun. I'll probably play through it a bit tonight.
Nice.
Yeah, this is kind of one of those games where you can find them pretty cheap now. Paper Mario: The Origami King, at least.
Kind of,
I think I bought it for like $39.99 Canadian.
For now.
Yeah, I'm enjoying it so far. So we'll see how it is when I'm like halfway to near the end. Maybe I'll get kind of bored. How long have you played? But so far it's been good. Like 4 or 5 hours already. Yeah. Like so, not a ton, but
it's good.
I've been having fun so far, so we'll see how it is. It is gorgeous. Yeah, it looks amazing.
It's really gorgeous. And it runs 60 FPS, which for me is a win.
Yeah. It looks great. It plays great. I haven't had any hiccups or anything. So yeah, this is kind of like one of those games where it kind of surprised me a bit, which is good.
It's good.
I didn't really have that high expectations. So yeah, we'll see how it is in like a couple weeks when we come back to it.
Nice.
And finally, like you, I have been playing through, and I'm on the last boss of Donkey Kong Country Returns HD. So I figured we could kind of give like just a mini review of what we think of the game, because this is like Nintendo's been real quiet. Yes, they announced the Switch 2, but this has been their only release this
Yeah.
year so far.
Yeah.
So I know a lot of people have been talking about it. Um, this, as far as like the gameplay goes, it's really good.
Really,
I
really
mean, it
good.
controls good. Um, Donkey Kong feels great. Um, the music is fantastic. I know you love the soundtrack.
Oh,
I
yes.
really enjoy the music. Um, yeah, overall it's good. Um, but most of the complaints that people have are pretty in line with my
Yeah.
complaints as well. It's not a complaint. This game is hard. This game is a challenging game,
Yes.
and if you don't know that going in, just be prepared. This is not an easy platformer.
Like
I
like the originals too. Like they're challenging
Yeah,
games.
yeah. Is it the hardest game ever? No,
No.
but I would say you should be pretty advanced in your platforming skills. Like
Yeah.
you should have played platformers for a while before
Yeah.
you jump into this.
Absolutely.
But yeah, the main complaints I see online are um the load times are bad.
Mm-hmm.
Graphically, it really isn't that
Oh
much of
yeah.
improvement at all,
It's a little bit.
and it's expensive.
Yeah.
So I'll start with the first one, that being the load times. Yeah, they're not great. Um, Now, in fairness, like in the grand scheme of things, waiting 10 to 15 seconds before a
For
level
leveled. It's
doesn't really
not.
do
Yeah.
that much. It is something I noticed
Mm.
though. I know you feel the same way, I think.
Yeah, but it's for me. It's compared to Tropical Freeze, which there's practically low load time if I
No,
remember
it's pretty
correctly,
quick.
and it's a next generation game. So I'm like, what happened here, Nintendo? Like,
Yeah.
are y'all being starting to be lazy and be like, oh, we'll just wait for the Switch 2. We know there's gonna be like a chip inside that is gonna make everything go super fast. There's going to be virtually no load times. If you're stuck on the Switch, well, too bad for you. Blah blah blah. So that's where I feel where I don't know. I
Yeah.
just feel a little bit weird about this. I'm just like, usually you're like pretty good at optimizing your games to the fullest, and now it's just meh, which is
Yeah.
weird. You know?
And so the other two complaints kind of go hand in hand in my opinion, that being the game looks all right
Yeah.
and it's a full retail price game.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah yeah yeah.
as far as like graphics go, it definitely is just an HD Wii game, like a Wii game that's been put into HD.
Yeah.
I don't really have any. I'm not mad about it. Some of the character models do look weird. The boss battles, especially, kind of look. Some of them look kind of wonky. I don't know why.
I don't know why too.
That's
It's
just
weird.
that's just me.
Yeah.
Like, but I know the reason like it's a big complaint is that you look at other full priced remastered games
Mm.
that Nintendo did, like Thousand Year Door, Super Mario RPG, or even other ports like the Wii U games, like Super Mario 3D World. They added Bowser's Inside Story.
Yeah.
Or not. What is it? Not Bowser's Inside Story. What is it? Oh my god.
3D World.
Yeah, 3D World, but what's the thing called? The expansion.
Bowser's Fury.
Bowser's
Yeah.
Fury. Yeah,
Bowser's
they
Fury.
added like a really big expansion to it, right? Um, so yeah, I'm kind of miffed too that literally the only thing that Donkey Kong Country Returns get is that it's basically in widescreen
Yeah.
and it's like 720p.
But we
Um,
we know why. Like
we knew that going in, but I can see why people are frustrated that
yeah, and the
it's
fact
a
that
full
it's
price game.
still a full price game. Exactly. This is where I feel like it's like that's what I said before. Like I feel weird about it because I'm like I'm still gonna buy it, but like I'll think how stupid do we think we are? Like I don't want to explain. It's not that deep, but like Nintendo, like we'll play your game $79, but like at the end of the day, like I don't know, just make the minimum amount of effort. Like now it's just like it doesn't even run good. Like I was in a section one day and I think in the juggle levels and the frame rate
Mhm.
was so bad. It went like to 30 FPS and I was like, what happened here? Like it's a Wii game.
Yeah, yeah.
So Yeah, it's just a little bit weird, but whatever. Still,
Yeah, like as far
still
as
fun.
like, I mean, you and I are Nintendo guys, so we'll buy the first party games,
Yeah,
right? That's part of the collecting aspect.
yeah,
If like someone asked me if they should buy this game though, like just an average person, I would 100% be like, you should just wait for a
sure,
sale.
sure.
This is there's not that much.
The only
I would just say get Tropical Freeze, in my
yeah,
opinion.
the only problem with that right now is like I'm working on a video right now is games you need to buy before the Switch 2 gets comes out. And I
Yeah.
think this game, if you want it physically, you need to buy it now because they're not gonna print a lot of copy. It is a waiting game before the Switch 2 comes out. So they're gonna print
Yeah.
like limited amount of copy. They know it's not gonna sell super well. That's the only reason why I would say like still buy it, because if you want it physically. But if that was not a problem, I would be with Juice on that 100%. Like, wait for a sell because, like,
Yeah.
it's,
Yeah, I
it's
think
not
to the
worth it.
average person,
Yeah.
like it's hard to justify buying this game right away, right? So, um,
Ex-
how many booms are you giving this one out of 5? How many booms out of 5 are
I
you giving
gave
it?
it a passing grade, so 3 booms out of 5.
3 booms out of 5?
Because,
I'm
like,
kind of
it's,
with you.
yeah,
I'm like 2.5, like boom, boom, boo.
my boom
You know
boom,
that? Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
ugh.
2.5 booms for me out of 5. It's fun. It's a challenging platformer. I think there are better Nintendo games
Oh
on
yeah,
the
yeah.
platform.
Tropical Freeze is definitely the pick, the game you should
The
pick.
better of the two,
Yeah,
for
yeah,
sure.
absolutely.
Yeah. So yeah, that's our kind of mini review of Donkey Kong Country Returns HD. Did you get any fun gaming pickups at all this week, Ben?
I got a late Christmas gift from my brother,
Oh,
which is honestly W. Like it is a very cool Christmas gift, and it
what did
is
you get? Whoa, The
yeah,
Legend of Zelda. Is that the
it's the
collection?
collector edition for the GameCube.
Wow. Yeah, because it has Zelda, if I'm not mistaken. It's Zelda 1, Zelda 2, A Link to the Past, and Ocarina of Time.
Oh no, it's Zelda 1, Zelda 2, Ocarina of Time, and Majora's Mask.
Oh, yeah, 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 yeah. That's crazy.
That's crazy because it's quite of an expensive game though. That's the thing.
It
So
wasn't a full retail game, was
it
it?
was just it was a pre-order bonus.
Yeah, for Wind Waker,
Yeah.
right?
So if you
Which is
pre-order Wind
so
Waker,
weird.
you could have access to like 4 other games, and like
Yeah.
now this game is like worth 80-90 Canadian.
No, at least, yeah.
Yeah. So
It's just so weird that that is how,
yeah, because there's like a
like,
nod for resale here. Like
yeah.
it wasn't a sellable game. Like you couldn't. It's like the Master Quest for Ocarina of Time and Ocarina of Time. Yeah, this was a pack in for Nintendo Power, I think, or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I got this game. I used to own it as a kid, so I'm pretty happy to have it back. I would never pull the trigger on it because it's an expensive game, and like I
Yeah.
have all, like I have the 3DS versions, I have the Nintendo 64 version, so I'm just like, what's the point? They're worse version of like Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask. To be honest, like the GameCube ports are not that great, so I'm like,
What's the issue with them? Because I've actually never played any of
yeah. The frame rate, okay. If I remember correctly, I'm not an expert on it, so please, people in the comments, do not roast me on this. But um, I feel like the game speed is a little bit wonky. So some of the
Oh, okay, yeah.
cutscenes, they're not gonna, like, the sound is gonna be out of sync, the songs or like the sound effects. And there's a couple of new glitches with the game,
New
and
glitches,
the
perfect.
frame rate is a little bit iffy at some places. Sometimes it runs better, but sometimes it runs worse. And just overall, like the sound quality and everything, like it's just a bad port in a way, because
Mhm.
it's a port in a way. It's not an emulator. So like since the GameCube is more powerful, it tried to run it better, but sometimes like it goes super fast, sometimes it goes super slow. It's just a bad port overall. I grew up with it, so I played the N64 version, but at home we had a GameCube. The N64 was at my grandparents' house, so whenever I was at home, I used to play this version. I didn't notice anything about it. Like I was a kid. Like for
Yeah.
me, those things doesn't exist. Like whatever. But yeah, the extremes fans of the
Yeah.
Zelda franchise are like, they think it's a bad port. So
Interesting.
yeah.
Now, do they? The only other question I have about it is because I actually haven't seen gameplay of it.
Yeah.
Do they map the buttons to or show you the buttons in the ports, or is it just like what the N64 would have, and you have to guess the
I
buttons?
think if I remember correctly, it is the GameCube buttons.
Oh,
So
okay, yeah,
that's
yeah,
kind of cool. And like the C stick is kind of like the N64 C buttons. It's the
yeah.
exact same thing. It's just a joystick now. So most of the Ocarina songs you do it with the C sticks. You can no, it's mapped like for the GameCube instead of the N64. But I'm not sure. Like I can't tell you 100%, but if I remember correctly, it is.
Interesting. All right,
Yeah.
all right. Yeah, for me, nothing crazy yet. I have some stuff coming in this month,
Yeah.
so hopefully we get some cool stuff that I can talk about. So, with that being said, we'll go to the no continues news roundup. Not a ton.
Not a
It's
ton.
kind of quiet right
Yeah.
now. But the first thing we'll talk about quickly is Multiverses
Ugh,
is shutting down in May.
of
If you don't
course.
know what Multiverses is, it is a Super Smash Brothers clone free to play game by Warner Brothers. So there's characters from like DC,
Mm,
Cartoon Network, HBO. Um, and yeah, it's a platform fighter. It was in an open beta a couple years ago. It was really popular at the beginning
mm,
in the open beta. After a couple months, it definitely fell off, and they
yep.
closed the game. And they said, "Okay, we'll come back. We'll release it fully." I think that was like a year and a
Yeah.
half later
Yeah.
when they
Which
really
such a
released
bad
it.
move.
So they re-released it, said it was in full, and by that time,
Nobody wanted to
nobody
play
had
anymore.
cared.
Like, of course.
Um, and the game has pretty much been up for a year, and it's now shutting down in May. So there's no online component as of May. There won't be any updates. Weirdly enough, you can still play the game
Which
offline,
is
like
cool.
which is kind of weird,
Yeah.
but it's nice of them to actually just leave the
The
game
actual
there
game.
for you
Yeah.
if you wanted to still try it out. Um, yeah, the problem with these games, we talked about it 2 weeks ago, how Sony was closing a bunch of these games behind the scenes, is that you need so many players to fill the lobbies
Yeah.
to do matchmaking. And unfortunately, just no one was playing this game. I think I saw something like for the last month, like the daily active users on Steam was like 1,000 to two
Which
thousand
is
players,
very
which is
bad.
really
For a live
bad.
service game,
With
it's like terrible.
You need hundreds of thousands,
Yeah.
or at minimum tens of
Yeah.
thousands of people in this kind of game,
I,
right? Like,
I don't know.
yeah, I don't know. It's just, yeah, just another one of these games that they're hoping you spend a ton of money on, where you get new characters and stuff, and no one just seems to care.
And what's weird about it is like they released it like a year and a half later, and it was the
Yeah,
exact same thing. They didn't change
it was the
anything.
exact same game. Yeah, pretty
Yeah, they didn't
much.
change
Yeah,
anything. I don't know why they did that. Like it was so stupid because some of the like biggest Smash players were actually playing the game, trying to play the game competitively and everything. Like there, it had a big momentum, and then they just plop dropped it, and they were like, "Oh, we'll come back a year and a half later." It's the stupidest move they could have done, honestly.
the big thing for me, like when it comes to these Smash Brothers
Mm.
clones, is they just never feel.
Oh wait,
Smash Brothers
you
is so refined and oh,
you
did I
cut
cut
for
out?
yeah
Oh, technical difficulties, everybody. We
technical
still here. We still here.
difficulties.
We still here.
Yeah.
But like I was saying, Smash clones, they
Mm.
just never feel right to
Yeah.
me. I was I played Smash Brothers all my life.
Mm.
So whenever I try a different one, like PlayStation All Stars, something just feels off.
Yeah.
So I can never get into these kinds of games.
Yeah.
And that's not necessarily on their fault. It's just it's really hard to live up to Smash Brothers. So
Exactly.
I usually don't play the other kinds of games like
No,
this.
I 100% agree with you. Like that, there's a reason why people are still obsessed with Smash Brothers because
Yep.
Masahiro Sakurai, he's spending thousands of hours. Like he doesn't have
Yeah.
any vacations. He perfects the game to a point where like it feels right to play. Like
Yeah.
it's sad for him because like he works. He's a workaholic and he doesn't stop working for like multiple years when he plays with that. I don't think he has one day off, but the product that is released after that is like a near perfect product in my opinion, especially like Super Smash Brothers Ultimate. It's like for me it's like my favorite fighting games of all time, and it will probably
Yeah.
remain that for the rest of my life. I'm pretty sure because I don't see another game peaking like being better than Smash Ultimate in that genre of fighting
Like
games.
that kind of sphere. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. But yeah, another one of these live service,
yeah,
free to play games that just shut down. It joins things like X Defiant, Rumbleverse,
such a bad game.
Suicide Squad, Concord, you know, all these games that want you to be online all the time.
Hmm.
Yeah, it just, no one has time
Hmm.
to play these kinds of games, unfortunately.
Yeah, of course.
Right? If you're invested in Fortnite, you're invested in Warzone, you just don't have time to
To
play
play 12
any
games
of
that are
these
live
others.
service, you can't. Like it.
And this kind of coincides, these online games.
Hmm.
It would help if you could play them online. So yeah, over the past weekend, PlayStation Network shutting down for nearly 24 hours. I think it was
Yeah.
basically from like Friday night, to Saturday afternoon, nearly
Yep.
24 hours.
Yep.
PlayStation Network is the online service
Hmm.
for PlayStation. Now, that doesn't just necessarily affect playing online games, it affects downloading games, it affects buying games, it affects even playing certain single player games because they need to connect to the internet
Yep.
to verify your
Hmm.
purchase. A great example of that is Gran Turismo. We're on Gran Turismo 7, right? Yeah,
Yeah.
you need to connect to the internet to play essentially a single player Gran Turismo
Which
game,
is
uh,
ridiculous.
which is ridiculous. Yeah,
Yep.
but I just think the worst part about this, Sony really didn't say anything during this whole
Yeah,
18 to
they didn't
20 hours.
they didn't release a statement. They said nothing,
They said
which is
we're
very
working on it.
odd.
It is odd. That's the worst part. You
They probably
gotta
got
you gotta
hacked.
like yeah, that's the biggest worry.
Yeah.
And this definitely brings back the conversation of digital gaming,
Mm-hmm.
where if you have a bunch of games downloaded, I know I do, on the
I do.
PlayStation, that's just how it is,
Yeah.
right? For convenience.
Yes, of
But
course.
if something goes down, you just can't play your games,
No, exactly. You can't.
yeah,
And
it's
I did a bit on YouTube about this. Like
mhm,
the simple solution is to buy your games physically. Yes, some games are not gonna be on the CD. If you play EA games, if you
yeah,
play like Call of Duties, if you play Ubisoft games,
Ubisoft games, yeah,
you're not you're paying. You should buy them digitally. Honestly, there's no reason to buy them
yeah,
physically, but because that company does not care about anything. They don't care about the consumer. They just care about themselves, pretty much.
yeah,
But if you have limited run games, if you have indie games, if you have first party Sony titles, if we take, for example, Spider-Man 2, which version 1.0 is on entirely on the CD.
on the disc,
So
yeah,
if you want to play Spider-Man 2, you were hyper focusing on that game for one weekend and then you can't because the servers are down. You still can play it because you have the discs. Like it's
yeah,
very important to buy your games physically because you actually own the game. Like whenever you buy games digitally, you buy a license to play. You buy the rights for them to give you the license to play. Like it's very weird, but like
essentially,
yeah, like you don't own the game. You can't resell them whenever like you want to resell your console to buy another one or anything. These are worth nothing. So y'all have to be careful about buying digital games.
yeah. It's just a reminder that you know if one thing goes down, you don't have access to things.
Yeah.
You don't fully own it. So,
And in
um,
30 years, whenever like the servers are going to be shut down, you will never be able to play those games again. Never.
yep,
Like it happened with some old Microsoft Windows PC games where the DRM server shut down. Even if you own the game, you put the CD in, it tries to check in the internet, the server is down, so it says that it's a bootleg copy or you can't play it because you don't have the license to play it, so you can't play it anymore. So
Yep.
unfortunately that sucks, you know?
Yeah, it's just yeah, the the worst part, like I said, is just them not saying anything.
Ugh, stupid, yeah.
You have to inform your customers. You have to inform your consumers why something is happening
Yeah.
and have to give them updates because you never know how this could have lasted days, right?
Yeah.
Especially, considering in 2011 they had a major outage.
Yeah.
Turns out they got hacked and a
For
bunch
a
of people's
month, I think.
information for a month, a whole month.
A whole month.
I know.
Holy cow.
I know, isn't
It's
that crazy? Like to think
yeah.
back on like a whole month where they just couldn't.
And I think like Xbox servers never got down or something.
During this time, no,
No.
no.
Like, and it's understandable, like servers go down sometimes. You can have like acts, you can have fire hazards, you can have like outbreaks, you can have like power outage, you can have a lot of things. Like it happens. They have backup servers and everything, but this feels like a hack. This
Yeah,
definitely, and like the fact, like you said, that like they didn't give any statement. Right now, I'm concerned about my security information on PlayStation, like my credit cards information, my name, my address, or anything like this. Like hackers want that type of information, you know. So
yeah,
yeah, it's pretty scary,
yeah.
but
It's just it's not a good look.
no,
Ugh,
not at all.
for things have been rough for Sony and PlayStation. This is just unfortunately another thing that seems to be tough for Sony and
Yeah,
PlayStation these days. So I'm waiting to see if they'll have a statement out just to see, because I don't think I've really seen anything yet
no,
from them. So,
I didn't see. Maybe they did, but we didn't see it. So
so yeah, make sure go buy your games.
go buy a
Go
game
to the
sticky.
video,
Get
go
off
to the
your
game
ass.
store, go get a game.
Yeah.
Go buy a game. The last sort of thing, essentially, Nintendo went through their financials for the last quarter.
Mm.
Wasn't really anything shocking, from them. Certain games did better than expected,
Yeah.
like Mario and Luigi Brothership. Actually, I think they said that it sold 1.3 million
Which
copies,
is
and for a
really
Mario
good.
RPG, is really good.
It's really good.
Um,
We might have
Mario
another
Party
one because of that.
Jamboree, yeah, yeah. Mario Party Jamboree sold almost 7
Oh,
million
it's
copies since
crazy.
release, which is crazy. It's only been out for like 4 months,
Yeah,
so
and 7 million
um,
copies is
that's a lot.
enormous. Yeah,
Like,
it's a Mario
so
Party game, so I'm not really surprised, but still, like, goddamn,
yeah, I'm sure by the time this year ends, we're looking at a 10 to
10
15
million.
million
Yeah, yeah,
dollar
of course.
or copies sold, right? So, um, only thing of note was President Furukawa said they're hoping to combat scalpers and that they hope their stock will be good for the
Just
launch of this
yeah.
system. Um, that's wishful thinking. I
Oh yeah.
appreciate it. The tough thing is once the console gets into the hands of the retailers,
Mm.
companies can't really do anything. Like
Absolutely.
Nintendo can't force Walmart to make people only buy one, right? Like there's
Yeah.
just nothing they can do, right?
There's
Same
nothing.
thing with Sony and the PlayStation 5 when it came out. There's really not a ton that they can
I think
do.
the limit at Walmart is like 3
Oh, okay,
for
yeah.
consumers, but still 3 is like you can sell 2.
Yeah.
And it's pretty much I've noticed that it's pretty much only for the American market, because like
Yeah.
in Japan that doesn't happen. There's no resellers in
Yeah.
Japan, like, so yeah, it's, I just find it weird that the American, but I understand the struggle too, like you're trying to make money off of a company or whatever, but yeah, sucks.
Yeah. So we shall see. They announced that the Switch 2 Direct in April will be at like 6 a.m. Pacific
Yeah,
time or something.
definitely need to
Thanks.
take a day off from work for
Yeah.
this. Yeah, definitely.
Um, Thanks for letting me know, I guess. It's
Yeah.
still like 2 months away, but I'll get my alarm ready for
Well,
that day. So
Honestly, I think they know because like there's so many rumors about a February direct that they just wanted to put the
Yeah.
nail in the coffin, be like, no, 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 no February direct now. Like,
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about a February direct now. I was kind of on board. I feel like if there's not one, as we're talking, it's
mm,
February 10th. If there's not one this week, it's kind of hard for me
yeah,
to buy that there would be one.
yeah,
I don't know. We'll wait and see because I the rumor is as well like by the time this episode's gone up, this could be old news. PlayStation is going to have one on
mm,
Valentine's Day. Apparently, that
yeah,
was the rumor. So yeah, if Nintendo doesn't have anything by this week, I can't picture anything. They'll just
exactly.
make us wait till April.
Yeah,
So yeah, quiet week for the most part. Just a reminder to buy your games
buy
physically.
them physically.
Live service games are shutting down all the time,
Don't buy live service
and the
games.
Switch 2 is still coming. So
Moral of the story: do not buy Concord. All
yeah, don't
right,
buy Concord. That is definitely the
exactly.
moral of the story. If there was anything that we learned,
Yeah.
that is definitely the moral of the story. All right, so let's move on to revisiting retro. This is
Ooh.
a segment in No Continues where Ben and I will go over something retro in gaming, whether that be a game for the most part, whether it be a TV show, a movie, or
Movie,
some sort
yeah.
of media that we're looking back on video games. We're continuing with more games to talk about in the NSO expansion pass instead. The games that we've been talking about before are just in your base NSO
Yeah.
subscription. This is in the NSO expansion
Expansion
pass.
pass, yeah.
And people kind of forget about the Genesis portion, right?
Yeah.
You're not just getting Game Boy Advanced and
Yeah.
N64, you're getting Sega
Genesis.
Genesis. So I talked about the Blue Blur.
Bluebird?
Say that 5 times. Yeah,
Bluebird
say
team?
that.
Silent Hill 2?
Yeah,
No,
Bluebird
okay, I'm
team. Say
joking.
that 5 times fast. I talked about the Blue Blur earlier,
Yeah.
um, and I talked about how I liked 2D Sonic, and we're going to talk about 2D Sonic. That being Sonic the Hedgehog 2
2.
for the Sega
Yeah.
Genesis. Um, yeah, I really like this game.
It's
For
an amazing
some
game.
weird reason, it's the only Sonic game on the Genesis
Yeah,
expansion pass right now.
but I know
So
why.
can't. Yeah, there's a couple reasons why.
Yeah.
One is just okay in my
Yeah.
opinion.
It's
Um,
not that great.
Two refined everything and is fantastic, and we'll get
Mm.
into that. The reason three is so hard to port is that there is Michael Jackson music on
Mm-hmm.
it,
And
and
it's not
because of that,
some people say like, oh no, it's not confirmed. It has been confirmed by Yuji Naka, which is the
yeah,
like they
the
actually he
director,
doesn't
right?
work for Sega anymore, and he was like, oh, I can't believe they removed like Michael. He did a tweet about it, basically confirming
Yeah,
that Michael Jackson did actually work for Sonic
yeah,
on Sonic 3. So for all those
yeah,
conspiracy theorists, whatever, like he worked on it. Like,
yeah. So that's the essentially the issue is that they always have a tough time legally
mm.
re-releasing Sonic 3. Now they did it recently on the Sonic Origins Plus
Hmm.
collection, but essentially they took out all the Michael Jackson music and
And they
put
replaced it with the beta music that
yeah,
before Michael Jackson worked on the project, which is
yeah.
still good in my opinion, but it's nowhere near Michael Jackson's track. Like they're
Yeah.
so good. Sonic 3
Mm.
music is so good.
So yeah, so yeah, Sonic 2 is the only one on the
Mm.
expansion pass. I would say for the longest time it was considered like the best
Yeah,
Sonic game. Funny enough, I feel like 3
it's
in
better
recent
for
years
me.
has surpassed it,
Oh yeah, yeah.
like in video
Please.
game circles.
Hmm.
But this is still a really fun game
Yeah.
in my opinion. I really like this game. It is more colorful than the first game.
Hmm.
It controls way better. Um, the level design I think is way better. The
Yeah.
boss fights are much more enjoyable.
Yeah.
And I think one of the major reasons, at least for me, is you finally have the dash spin.
Yeah.
Um, in Sonic 1, if you don't know, you don't have the dash
You
spin.
can't
That's where
spin
you
dash.
hold.
Yeah.
Yeah, he can't spin dash. That's where you hold
Depending on the
down
port you play, depending on the version you play, but yeah, if you played the
in the
Genesis
original
version,
Genesis one.
like
Yeah,
probably you played when you were a kid, like or the Mega Collection port, which didn't have the spin dash, you were stuck just
Yeah.
moving, like putting your joystick and like being super slow, So
So yeah, that's when you obviously hold down on the D-pad and
D-pad and then
you
you
hold A and you
mash A,
charge
yeah,
up, and
yeah,
it's so helpful because
yeah.
there's so many times where you're stuck and you need to hit the loop de loop.
The
It's just
loop, the
so
loop.
handy. Yeah. So yeah, I really enjoy this game. How many have you played this one as much as I have? Like I've played it
I've played it
tens of 20
probably like
times.
15 times. I've did
Yeah.
it like I had a blast playing. I played the origin version for this video, which
Oh, okay.
has the drop dash. So if you've
Yes.
played
Yeah.
Mania, you can jump, hold the A button, and then he's gonna spin in the air. So this helps a lot in this game. Honestly, I think you have to the super peel out from Sonic CD. So like when you put up on the
Hold
D-pad, you
up.
press A,
Yeah.
like this feeds like it's a downgrade for the spin dash, but you go faster, so it's cool.
Yeah.
I'm a little bit conflicted with Sonic 2. I love Sonic 2, but for the first half of the game. The
First half.
second half of the game, I think it's bullshit.
Yeah.
Because
It is really tough.
yeah, most of the people that play Sonic 2 and they're like, oh, it's my favorite, because they basically just played the first half of the game. The first half of the game is so solid. The level design
Yeah.
is good. It's speedy. You have a lot of momentum. You have a lot of platforming. It's super good. But as soon as you get to that plane stage, the
Oh
plane
yeah.
stage, which I never know where to land. I don't know what's a platform. I don't know what's not a platform. And going forward, man, it's just it gets ridiculous. It gets
Yeah,
and
it
especially
does.
the final boss. Like you have 0 rings. You have to. It's a super hard boss. It's a super precise boss,
Yeah.
and like every time I just rewind because like I don't have patience to just go through
Yeah.
all of my lives and then restart from the beginning. No, no way, no way. There's no way. So I love this game, but I feel like the second half of the game is a downgrade in my opinion. For
Yeah.
me, Sonic 3 is it's my favorite. Like I think from beginning to end, like it's solid all the way through. You have some weak spot, like some of the levels that, like if you play the Sonic 3 and Knuckles version, like some of the Sonic and Knuckles stages are a little bit but overall I think it's a better game.
Yeah.
But yeah, I enjoyed it. It's fun. It's fun. It's always Sonic. You go fast. I love the special stages out of going supersonic. Honestly, at the third stage, I'm usually like supersonic, so I just go through the stages like crazy. Yeah, it's fun. It's Sonic.
Yeah, I would say this is definitely like Sonic stepping into his own. The first game is fine.
It's okay. Yeah.
Um, but this was definitely like a major step up,
Oh yeah, yeah,
in
yeah.
my opinion. Um, Tails, this is his
Yeah,
first
Tails'
appearance.
first appearance.
He really doesn't do much
He's in
as
easy mode.
far yeah. He doesn't do that much. I found he's always annoying in the bonus stage
He always
because
gets hit.
he always gets hit. So essentially the bonus stage, I'm sure many of you seen it. It almost looks like a big
The half
tube.
pipe.
The half pipe, yeah.
Yeah, it's a half pipe.
And you're collecting rings and you want to avoid the bombs. The thing is Tails is trailing behind you.
Yep.
And if he gets hit
Oh,
by bombs, thumbs up, yeah.
thumbs up. Yeah.
If he gets hit by bombs, you lose rings, which is terrible
Yeah.
because you need a certain amount of rings to get the Chaos Emerald at the end.
And he's not
So
stuck to you. Like he's not like a magnet. He's very like he has like
he
1 or 2
drifts.
seconds of delays. So
Yeah.
whenever like you're super like, because some of the stages like the platform, not the platform, the reaction time is like very
Yeah.
precise, and like you do it, but like Tails always gets hit. Like
He always gets hit.
so, yeah, it's annoying. It's
Yeah,
annoying.
he can definitely ruin the experience.
Yeah.
That's for sure. So
That's why I like
sorry,
the
Tails.
Origin ports, because you could play only as Sonic, not
Yeah,
as.
which is much
That's
nicer.
just better, yeah. Even though people
yeah.
are complaining about the Origin sports, but I don't care like that much.
Yeah, I would say if you want like the true like starting of modern 2D Sonic,
Yeah.
play this.
Yeah.
This is probably like the
Yeah.
best
If
starting point of where Sonic really started to get going.
It is. I think it is the best game to start your Sonic journey. Yeah, it's super fast, super good. You're probably not gonna finish it. Like you're gonna play like 2 or 3 stages. You're gonna be like, oh, that's good. Then you're gonna move on to another game, and then you're gonna revisit it, and you're always gonna. So yeah, it's good. It's a good game.
It is a good game.
How many booms?
As far as the boom meter, I guess 3 out of 5, maybe 3.5 out of 5 booms.
Same.
It's difficult. It's tough, especially near the end. But
yeah.
Like you said, the first half, I would even say like the first 3/4 really good. But yeah, once you get to the airship,
it's where everything crumbles out. I feel like the airship level is one of the worst stage in Sonic history. I think Labyrinth Zone is less painful than this one, which is the water level in Sonic 1. Man, it's just I just don't understand this stage. Every time I'm at that stage, I have the worst time ever. Like it's just bad. It's just bad in my opinion.
No, I'm with you. 3.5 out of 5 booms for me.
3.5.
Good time. It's a great start for Sonic. But there are better ones. I would say though, you should start with.
Start with 2. Start with 2. So it's a good one.
Yeah. Plus, you got it with your expansion pass. You might as well give it a try.
Yeah.
You might as well play it, right?
And if you were one of the lucky ones who got the Genesis collection on Switch, because now it's delisted because of Sonic Origins, it's on there. So
it is
on Sonic
there,
1 and 2. Be careful though. There's a lot of input lag in that version, especially the Switch port, but it's still on there. So
well, I would say you got to give it a try. It's not like DK Land that you can skip.
No, this one is a must to play. Like
yeah, I think this is a good one to play. So.
If you're like a newer gamer, you want to get into like video game history and like want to play the old games, Sonic 2 is a definitive play. Like you have to play this one.
I would agree with that for sure. Alrighty. Well, we're coming near the end. I know it wasn't not an entirely long show for us today, but we got a fun question that I came up with. This is our question of the show. Ben and I, we'll trade off every episode and have a question to ask about some video game journey stuff. And my question for us is the worst game you've ever received or purchased growing up. What is something that you bought or got as a gift that was not good?
So I have 2 games because
2 games.
One of them is just like it's not enough to justify it, but my first one is another Blue Blur, Sonic and the Black Knight.
He's showing up everywhere today.
Yeah. I received this, I think it was at my birthday. I was like 13 years old.
Yeah.
For disclaimers, I don't hate this game. I think it's okay. But I was so disappointed in the fact, like I used to play Sonic and the Secret Rings. I thought it was okay. But this game is just, I don't know, man.
Sonic and the Black Knight.
Yeah, it's just like, bro, you're Excalibur. You're like in another world. Nobody recognizes you. Shadow's in the game, though, W. But it's just weird.
This is part of the, do they call it the story?
Yeah, it's like a storybook here. It's like right here.
So there's this one, Sonic and the Black Knight.
Yeah.
Is Sonic and the Secret Rings a part of
that?
It's
the first one, which I enjoyed more than this one.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just weird. Like it just does not make sense. Like you're a knight, you have a sword, you go like super Sonic with the golden armor at the end. The boss is super hard. It's just the controls are wonky. The game is just wonky overall. I don't know. Very, very mid game for me. I know there's a community out there that absolutely love this game. I think it's ass. So it's not that great of a game.
Sorry, Sonic.
Sorry, Sonic. I love you, but
gotta dunk on him.
Yeah. And next one is South Park for the N64.
Whoa, yeah.
I don't know if it's a bad game or not, but the only thing I remember is trying to play this game as a kid and being so lost.
Is that the first person shooter?
Yeah,
one?
like with the snowballs.
Oh my god,
so lost.
It's so terrible.
It's so bad.
Yeah.
And I remember like my grandma bought it for my, like, it's a mature game though, by the way, but bought it for my brother, like, because she had an N64, so whenever we would go to her house, we would play the N64 all day. and I couldn't understand a single thing about this game. To be fair, I was like 6, 7, but
Yeah.
still, man, it's
Should not have been playing South Park.
yeah.
For sure.
I don't know, man. Not my type of game. I should probably replay it on my CRT. That could be cool, but
Yeah.
like, yeah, it's just not that great to be honest.
Well, and there's some great South Park games. Like
Yeah.
Stick of Truth is fantastic.
I
I've
need
played
to
that
play
game
that
a couple
game.
times. It's great.
I'm a
You have
big
to like
RPG
South
fan, and
Park.
I've never played it. But I've never been a fan of South Park, though. I
Oh,
have to
really?
say this.
I
I
was a huge fan.
I like it, but
I
it's
watched it all the time growing
really
up. I was in deep. So when Stick of Truth came out, I had such a good time with it.
yeah.
It
It's
is like
just
a
for me the
quintessential.
animation is
Yeah.
I can't with the animation in the show. That's why like I don't really like South Park.
Yeah, fair.
Yeah, but I should
I
play
love
Stick of
it.
Truth. Like the difficulty level in the game. Like
Yeah, it's
man, it's so
crazy.
stupid. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. No, that game is really fun, especially if you like RPGs.
yeah.
It's nothing overly complicated, but it's really good.
But it's really good. Like it's another episode of South Park in a way.
Yeah.
Like yeah,
Dang. Yeah, the
dang.
South Park N64 game, not good.
Yeah, not
It
good, eh?
is definitely not good.
Not good. So
Um,
yeah, those are my game. What about you? What are your
for
games?
me, I was pretty lucky growing up. So when my first console was
Mm,
the GameCube,
yeah,
and I feel like that's a great story to get into later in episodes.
yeah.
My parents weren't gamers. They weren't
Understand.
really
Yeah,
into gaming. But when they bought, games for me, they were really good. Like I usually um would have a list obviously at Christmas, so they would pick off that,
yeah,
or they would just be pretty safe and just buy a Nintendo game. So they
yeah,
were, Mario sports games,
yeah,
Legend of
yeah.
Zelda, Kirby. So they were pretty good. Even some of the licensed games they bought for us, like the Lego games. I love the Lego
Yeah, they're
games. Like
good.
Lego Star Wars, Lego
So
Indiana
good.
Jones,
The OG Lego
right?
Star Wars
So
so good.
they they were pretty good. Despite them not really being into gaming, I'd
Yeah,
never really gotten any clunkers. I'd gotten some that were like Spyro Enter the Dragonfly.
yeah.
It's just not a very complete game. It's
But
a buggy mess.
as a kid, I
Yeah.
didn't really notice that it was a bad game, so I
Yeah, me
had
neither.
fun. I had fun still.
Yeah, I also had Crash Bandicoot Wrath of Cortex, which is
Same.
that's the real Crash 4
Yeah,
if you didn't know.
you didn't know, yeah.
Um
But they kind of
it's
tossed to the side, you
yeah,
know.
it's kind of mid.
Still Crash game though.
The Funny enough, the vehicles, that's easily to me the worst part of the game. When it's actually like Crash Bandicoot, it's
Mm.
really good, but the vehicles I didn't like. So,
And the bosses
but
too are
still,
really hard in this
they're
game.
really
Yeah,
hard.
like, especially
Yeah.
the first boss. Like you're in like a
Yeah.
little
The
ball, and
first boss is
holy
tough. Yeah.
shit, man! Like, because I remember I used to play this game all the time, but
Yeah.
I couldn't do the first boss. It was too hard for me.
Yeah. So I don't necessarily blame my parents for that. They probably just knew Crash and Spyro were big, so they
Yeah,
bought them. So even then, they're not like horrible games.
yeah.
So my parents, they get the slide. They're good. They
They're
did
good.
really
They're good.
well.
It's not their
Yeah.
fault.
So they're fantastic. Now, my extended family, so people like grandparents, aunts, and uncles,
Hmm.
they knew even less
Of course.
about games, right?
Oh,
So
can't wait to hear this.
typically, if they were kind enough to get us a video game,
Yeah.
because obviously they went
W.
another way,
Yeah.
um, they would get it from what I call the Walmart bin
Bin.
of
Oh.
doom.
Oh
So
yeah.
if you don't know what this is, maybe you're too young. Walmart in the 2000s, and I would say for the early part of the 2010s, they don't really do it now.
Yeah.
If you went to the electronics section, there was usually two or three of these big, they look like metal cages
Yeah.
almost. They were bins full of clearance CDs,
Yeah.
DVDs,
And
and
games.
video games.
Yes. And they were like
So
super cheap too. Oh my
cheap.
god, they were cheap.
It would
They were
range
like
from
$5,
$5 to
$10.
$20.
Yeah.
Like 20 was like a high-end
It
game
was
in there.
kind of a good game. If it was $20, it was like
Yeah.
kind of a good game. Like Crash for
But
Wrath of
yeah.
Cortex. Like it was that type of game.
So obviously if the movies and CDs and stuff are on clearance, it's for usually two reasons.
Yeah.
One, they're old, so they're just trying to get rid of
Mhm.
them. I've seen a lot of people like just stick their hand in and they would pull out a DVD
Yeah,
and they were like, "This is the movie we're watching tonight,"
that
and it
that
would be
that used
just
to
a
be the
garbage
nicest
movie.
thing. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, I used to do that as a kid too. Like,
yeah.
because they were
This is the
so
movie.
big.
They were
They were
huge.
huge.
They're like 4 by 4 feet. They're just like these
Yeah.
big metal
Yeah, yeah.
bins. So I know that my aunts and uncles would reach in the bin, pull out a
A
Wii
game.
game,
Yeah.
and
Oh, Wii game.
this would
Oh.
be the gift. So we got some clunkers in
Uh,
there, like Monster 4x4 World
oh.
Circuit, which is just a
So
bad
bad.
monster truck game,
So
just
bad.
not good. But the one that I remember the most for how bad it is M&M kart racing.
Oh no, no. There's
Uh,
no way you got this game.
I did,
There's no
yeah.
way you got this game.
If you don't know, it's exactly what it sounds like. It is an M&M's kart racing clone, and
It's
it
so
is
bad.
horrible. It is really bad. Um, Graphically, it's muddy and not good looking. It doesn't run very well. Um, the sound is weird,
Yeah.
but easily the worst part is the control and the level design. And the reason I say level design is because when you're racing, like in Mario Kart and stuff, turns are done gradually,
Yeah.
right? They're done on an angle because your car's moving so fast. In M&M kart racing, for some reason, there's hard left and right turns,
Oh yeah.
like pretty much forcing you to come to a complete stop, turn left, and go. Like if you were to actually
Such
like
a bad
stop at a
game.
stop sign, it's so
Mm-hmm.
so bad. It's just it maybe was in our Wii 2 to 3 times at most. It was just it's horrible. It's
It's one
really
of the
bad.
worst shovelware game I feel like on
It's
the Wii.
yeah, it's one of the worst.
Yeah.
One of the most annoying aspects, there's like a boost, like whenever you would drive over like a boost pad, it would be
Mm.
like if you drive over a mushroom in Mario Kart.
Yeah.
You would drive over it, and the announcer of the game, there's like an in-game announcer,
Yeah.
every single time would say, "You're approaching the sound barrier," every time. Like somehow you were going so fast
Yeah.
that you were breaking the sound barrier and going so, and like you barely get a boost. Like it's
Yeah, yeah, it's
not
like
even like significant.
yeah,
Boom. And this guy every time, "You're breaking the sound barrier." Every single
single
time. It
time.
was so
Yeah.
annoying. And yeah, it's just a horrible game. And the I wanted to look up gameplay of it to really
Mm.
like jog my memory. And I looked up this guy who had it up. He was running it on the Dolphin
Of
emulator.
course, yeah.
So Dolphin is the GameCube and Wii emulator that you can get. He had the game at like 720, 1080p,
Mm.
60 frames a second at max settings,
Yeah.
and the game still ran like
Yeah,
garbage.
yeah, of course.
Like
Hot garbage,
even when
like
this guy put all this work in to clean up the game to make it work,
yeah.
it still didn't work.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, it's horrible. It came out before Mario Kart Wii, so I'm sorry if you ended up with that instead of Mario Kart Wii. It was horrible. It's probably one of the worst games I've
Yeah.
ever played. There's also, funny enough, an M&M's like summer vacation game on Wii as well, where you play like volleyball.
What?
Yeah, I would imagine that is equally as bad, but that by far is the worst game I've
You've got
ever
as a
gotten
gift.
growing up.
I
Um,
mean, no disrespect to your
shout out to
to
my
your
relatives. I
grandparents.
get it.
Yeah, exactly. Like the
Appreciate
bins
it.
were the bins. They had something to them.
The
Honestly, like
bins
it was like a
were a
magnet. You were like,
lottery.
I want to get a game out. I want to get something out of there. So gotta do what you gotta
Yeah,
do. You know.
yeah. I just picture them being like, the kids like M&Ms, right?
Good, right?
Put them in a car,
Put it in a car.
and yeah, it's not good. It's just save yourself the trouble. There's just so many better kart racers
Mm.
that you could even put
CTR,
a
for example, is
fraction
yeah.
of your time. Yeah. Literally any Mario Kart, literally any CTR, literally I played the Digimon Kart Racer
Yeah,
on
which
Game
is
Boy Advance.
better.
Even that one is better.
The
Like
Chocobo Racing, the original for PS1, is good.
good.
The Star Wars Racer, everything like
The Little
there's
Big Planet
yeah,
Kart Racer is
it's
even
okay.
pretty
Yeah, it's
good.
good.
Like
Don't play
Sonic,
Eminem. Like if you say
yeah,
Eminem
just
on a
don't
video
even.
game, don't play it. Just don't. Just don't.
And I was thinking about the guy like who was playing it on the emulator. I was like, I wonder if he even owns a copy of this. Probably not.
Probably not. No.
Eminem's is not going to come after you if you do want to try it and play the emulator. But
Because the thing is they can't know if you own the copy or
who
not.
cares?
You have
It's so bad.
yeah, you have the right to play your games on an emulator. That's not the thing. Is you need to own the game and rip off your own ROMs. But like, why would they do that?
I feel like if you own Eminem Kart Racer, someone owes you an apology.
yes, of
Eminem
course.
themselves owes you.
Oh yeah, they owe you
an
like
apology.
$100 check
Yeah,
or something.
they'd be like, you know what? Here you go. We're sorry. Do whatever you
here's
want.
your refund. 10 years
Literally.
later.
And you know what's weird? There's like a lot of Eminem games.
Yes.
Like more than you'd think. There's
yeah.
Crash Bandicoot Eminem's clone. Like a hallway style
There's
platformer.
no way.
Yes.
There's no way.
Yes. I'm not even kidding. I'm so
you have
curious
to,
as to what it is.
There's no way. I
it's on
can't
the
believe that they did it.
PlayStation.
I think I've seen
it's
this.
called Eminem's Shell Shocked. It is a Crash Bandicoot clone on like the PlayStation 1 where it's in a hallway.
On what
There's
platform
too
it came
many
out?
of these games. When did it come out?
What platform? Sorry.
PlayStation 1.
That's of course. Of course. PlayStation 1. There's no way.
Eminem's adventure game? I don't even know what that is. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's 9 Eminem video games. That's horrible. That's terrible.
That's terrible. It gotta stop. Eminem, if you're watching this, please stop. We love you. We like the taste of you. Hey, yo, wait.
I like the mini M&Ms. Those are good. In the tube,
I like the peanut butter ones.
Stuff. The peanut ones.
They're good. Oh,
I have a big jar in my fridge. A big peanut M&Ms jar.
A jar?
Yeah, like I'm like Costco size.
Oh, Costco size, damn.
Yeah, like I love M&Ms. I don't want them in a car though. Don't put them in cars.
No, I just want them in my mouth. Okay, okay.
Yeah, for real.
Hey, yo.
The review scores on GameSpot have this game at a 2 out of 10. Nintendo has it at a 1.7 out of 10.
Thank you, Nintendo Joe. Thank you for your insight. We appreciate you. 1 out of 10.
IGN has it at a 3 out of 10.
We don't talk about IGN.
Yeah.
I'm joking.
But you know what? I kind of agree.
Yeah, I agree. Oh, absolutely. I've seen Jag play it on stream. Oh, it looks so bad. It looks so bad. Like,
funny enough, Games Radar has it ranked as the 32nd worst game of all time.
No.
It is in their top 50's worst games of all time. So there you go.
There you go.
Yeah, it's
Games Radar said it means it's true.
If Games Radar said it, it's got to be true.
Got to be true.
Somewhat.
Now the little we need AJ to say it though.
Yeah. There's negative booms. Like I feel like I'm owed booms.
Yeah.
That's how bad the game is.
Yeah. You invested in booms and then you
didn't get nothing.
And
there's like the worst thing is, I will say like I didn't really get a ton of bad games. I don't know if you're the same way because by the time like 2008, 2009 rolled around, as silly as a lot of people like dog on them now, IGN was making tons of reviews. I knew about games if they were going to be decent or not.
Yeah, because it was kind of like IGN in the beginning used to be all right at reviews, in my opinion. So it was a good general idea of what the game was in a way.
Exactly.
Like if you give a 10 out of 10 to Deathloop, I'm sorry, but you have your head somewhere else. Like you're not from this plane of existence. I'm sorry.
Deathloop. But by that time, by 2008, 2009, it wasn't just them. There were other gaming outlets. There were YouTubers. I would pretty much be not 100% certain, but I would know if a game was going to like scratch an itch for me or be something that I enjoyed, right? So I usually didn't get a ton of bad games, but yeah, in this situation, it was just, a random thing. I definitely got some bad other things. Like I think I got Chicken Shoot as well, if you know what that is. It's literally a Wii.
I think it is. Yeah, it's like a Unreal
you literally
shooter, but
point
like very bad.
and you just shoot chickens. I don't know what these chickens deserved. I don't know why they deserve
poor
it.
chickens.
But they're getting capped. Any other like bad game? Funny enough, licensed games, I had some pretty good ones. Like I don't know if you've ever played Barnyard, like the Barnyard video game.
No, but is it
It's
like
a
the
GTA
weird
clone. It's like a GTA clone.
What?
Yeah. you play as a cow and you do like missions and it's open world. You
That's
visit the
weird.
farm. You like build up your
Mm,
home base farm.
mm.
It's wild. It was
It's
pretty good. The
but
worst license game I got was Monsters Inc. Scream Arena. It's just a dodgeball Monsters Inc.
that's
game.
just weird. That's a dodgeball.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
Who's yeah.
who decided
I
to
love
be
the
like, hey,
combination.
yeah, kids like dodgeball, kids like Monster Inc. Well, let's do
Let's
Monster
put
Inc.
them
dodgeball.
together. Yeah. But yeah, nothing will come close to Eminem, unfortunately for me.
But
So
for me, like I did have like my brother was really like into video games critics at this time and everything, so he would
yeah.
suggest my grandma to buy some types of games that she would buy us for Christmas. So yeah, I didn't really get bad games too growing up.
Yeah.
I have games that I did not understand because like there was a language barrier when I was a kid. I'm from Quebec, so I speak French, and like I didn't know English. So for me, what was a bad game when I was a kid was not necessarily a bad game. It was just me not knowing English and just like being not dumb because I was like 10 years old, but still like that's pretty much why I had bad games. Like my grandma, like the only bad game, and for me it's not a bad game, I actually like the game, is like Spirit Tracks and Phantom Hourglass, which I feel like they're great for portable games on the DS, for portable Zelda on DS. But like I know a lot of people did not really enjoy them, but for me, man, they were super good, like super good. So
yeah, I had like some mid games, like I had the GBA, but for the most part, same thing. Like nothing crazy. Like I
nothing
had
crazy.
Nicktoons Unite that I didn't really enjoy.
It's all right.
Yeah. I had this one called Rugrats Castle Capers. It's essentially like a Rugrats platformer
Yeah,
that's kind of lame. But yeah, nothing really like
I
bad.
remember
Like,
one game that I really didn't like, and it's Pokemon Battle Revolution for the Wii.
oh,
And
I had Battle Revolution.
yeah, like
It's
I,
hard.
it's hard,
I
and
find it's
I
really
didn't understand
difficult.
because you used to play and there was no end game. But that's how I remember it. I don't know exactly if there's an end game or if it's their story, but the way I remember it, it was just battles, and like I love.
It's like Pokemon Stadium
Yeah, I used to love
spin-off, kind
Pokemon
of.
battles, but not that much. Like I need a story with it.
Yeah.
Like
There's an adventure aspect to Pokemon. So when you're
yeah,
just doing the battles, yeah, I
I was
agree.
just like, what's the point of this game? Like, it's just to, and like back then, I didn't really understand like pretty graphics and everything. I was just like, oh, there's a video game in front of me. Okay, I'll play it. That's it.
Yeah.
And like, I know it was like to showcase the 3D models and everything. And people were like, oh my God, it's so cool. But like, other than that, I still think it's a bad game. It's not that great of a game. It's just like you remove everything that makes Pokemon great, the story, the adventure aspect of it, the Pokemon catching aspect of it, and it just makes battle.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what is
Yeah,
this?
I think half the fun of Pokemon and why I always
Is
get
the
an itch to
monster
play it
collecting, yeah.
is the monster collecting. And you know, I'm someone that gives nicknames to my Pokemon. I
Yeah.
used to be an edgy teen, and I was like, nope, he's just Bulbasaur, you know. But
Yeah.
I give nicknames to my Pokemon all the time now
Yeah.
because the whole point is the connection to your
It's connection
Pokemon,
to your
and you watch
Pokemon,
them
yeah.
grow.
It's like
So when you
having
can't
pets.
do that and you
Yeah.
pick from like a pre-selected roster,
Yeah,
I agree.
which
It does take
I know there
it does
was
take
like
away.
some connectivity with the DS or the Game Boy Advance.
I think there is, yeah.
Yeah, but like, man, I didn't understand English at the time. So how did you want? Because that's the thing. Like games in Quebec, they were not. There was no like traduction. I don't know like how to say
like
the word.
translation.
Translation.
Like,
there was no
translation. It was just an
translation.
English game.
It was just English games. There were no subtitles that didn't exist. So like you had a game, you had to figure out the game. And like I used to go to a website called jeuxvideo.com, .ca because it's like, and it's like it was like a French like guide for games, and like they had cheat codes and everything, but it was in French. So that's how I got through video games when I was a kid. Later, like I learned English, of course, through video games. Actually, like I learned it through video games, but still, yeah. So yeah,
I would say like if you want to play an interesting 3D Pokemon game at that point, for anyone out there, play XD Gale of Darkness.
yes,
I really like that one. That one's a good one. That one's that one's a fun one.
Yeah, it's just super expensive, but
very, yeah.
You have Dolphin.
Yeah, if you have Dolphin,
get your games legally.
Yeah. Once you're done playing, M&M kart racing, and you've had fun approaching the sound barrier multiple times. Maybe take a look at XD
Ask a friend that has a copy of Gale of Darkness, rip it on your computer. Don't go download it illegally. Nintendo, we love you. And yes.
Yeah, play that.
That's it.
Yeah. Finish your Mario M&M kart first.
Yes.
But, you know, do that.
It's a must. 10 out of 10. IGN.
10 out of 10. 10 out of 10. So yeah, that was the worst game I ever received. I always had weird games too, but that was the worst. Weird doesn't necessarily mean bad.
Yeah.
But worst was M&M kart.
Yeah, yeah, of course.
I'm gonna eat some M&Ms after this, just in spite. I'll be like, you can't drive a car. You
can't make me like driving a car with M&Ms, bro. Exactly.
Nah. I will not be approaching the sound barrier. Rawr.
Rawr.
I'm gonna be munching on them.
You're gonna be like, do a Reddit post of it. You know, just trashing on the game.
See what everyone thinks. Yeah.
Saying like it's like politics and stuff. No, I'm joking. Isn't it wrong?
I hate M&Ms. They shouldn't be allowed to drive cars. Let's be real.
Let's be reals.
Yeah.
No.
Come on. Who let this happen? All right. Well, Ben, just another fun-filled show.
Yes.
Filled with M&Ms, filled with Sonic, all the good things.
All the good things in life
out there. Anything you're working on for the next weeks coming up that people can get excited about?
I'm working on a new video. I've done editing. I just need to make a thumbnail, so make sure to go check that out. It's gonna be out this week. And yeah, I'm working on some other shorts. I started to do like some I don't know, camera shorts, I guess.
I like it. Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, trying. I'm pretty shy, but I'm trying. So more of that coming along. There's still gonna be some clips, some gaming clips, some video game showcase at the same time. But I'm trying to diversify my content. So yeah, big things going on. How about you, Juice? What are you working on?
Yeah, I'm always just working on stuff.
I see an announcement today.
Yeah, trying to get back into streaming. That's going to be the big thing. We used to do it all the time. We used to do it consistently. We've been very quiet in a way.
That's how we met, actually.
Yeah, it's through my stream.
Exactly.
Yeah, I don't know. We were talking about it over the weekend. Mags, she was the one that kind of brought up. She's like, maybe we should try like getting back into it. Like we haven't done it in a while, and we thought about it, and we decided we're gonna go back. We're gonna give it a try. So
can't wait.
I used to do a lot of morning streams. That was my big thing. So I'll probably do a couple to start out, and then Mags and I will do combination streams once a week, which trying to figure out a time. So
where do you think you're gonna stream? You're gonna stream on TikTok and on Twitch, or just on TikTok?
That's where I was for the most part, was on TikTok. So I'll probably start back there and keep, start there, and then we'll kind of see where we go from there. Not that I don't like Twitch. I just
it's a hard platform.
I've always just been familiar with TikTok. Yeah. That's where I made my start. That's how I've gotten my growth. So we'll try that out. We'll see how we do. I don't know what I'm gonna play, but we'll figure it out. So
I know what you're gonna play. M&M kart racing.
M&M kart racing for everyone to watch with M&Ms on the side. All right. Where can everyone find you on socials, Ben?
You can find me on TikTok, Twitch. I got coffee all over me. I'm sorry, everyone. TikTok, Twitch, YouTube, and that's I think that's it. It's Benduzo. It's my name, so you can find me there. How about you, Juice? Where can we find you?
You can find me on TikTok at Juice Bar Gaming. You can find us and hang out with us, talk about some video games and stuff. Thank you, everybody. Thanks for hanging out with us. Quiet News Week. We will see you all again next time. Have a good one, and go play some games for us. Go have some fun. Go play some games and enjoy some M&Ms.
Yes, sir. Bye-bye.
See ya.